dressed and I left at 10. Check my nails, looking good. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Oh yeah, I know this'll be the day. Oh, yeah. Everything will be okay. Oh, yeah. I kiss my cares all away. Oh, yeah. It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day. Good day. I think it's finally all gonna go my way. Rain or shine, no, I don't mind. This day is mine. I'm gonna chase all those gray clouds away. It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day. No more crying myself to sleep and thinking better days are a far off dream. Get up and I move my feet, cause I hear music playing on these streets. Oh yeah. Ain't nobody gonna cry today. Ain't nobody gonna die today. I kiss my cares all away. It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day. Good day. Gonna be a good day. I think it's finally all gonna go my way. Rain or shine, no, I don't mind. This day is mine. I'm gonna chase all those gray clouds away. It's gonna be a good day. It's beautiful. It's gonna be a good day. No more crying myself to sleep and thinking better days are a far off dream. Get up and I move my feet, cause I hear music playing. It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day. Good day. I think it's finally all gonna go my way. Rain or shine, no, I don't mind. This day is mine. I'm gonna chase all those gray clouds away. It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day. Woo! It's a great day. It's a good day. Get up! Can't you see the sun shining? I woke up and I rolled out of bed. Got dressed and I left at 10. Check my nails, looking good. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Oh yeah, I know this'll be the day. Everything will be okay. I kiss my cares all away. It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day. Good day. I think it's finally all gonna go my way. Rain or shine, no, I don't mind. This day is mine. I'm gonna chase all those gray clouds away. It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day. No more crying myself to sleep and thinking better days are a far off dream. Get up and I move my feet, cause I hear music playing on these streets. Oh yeah. Ain't nobody gonna cry today. Ain't nobody gonna die today. I kiss my cares all away. It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day. Good day. Gonna be a good day. I think it's finally all gonna go my way. Rain or shine, no, I don't mind. This day is mine. I'm gonna chase all those gray clouds.
Hello, and how are you guys doing today on a Wednesday?
Great.
Very good, very good. Thank you guys for joining us. Shana, go ahead.
Roll call. Who's here? Good morning, everyone. Glad to see you. Reminder that we have our agent workshop today, Wednesday at 10 a.m. And it's going to be how to rock 2022. So we're going to talk through some just basic tips and make sure we get our mind right. So next year is a wonderful year.
So
Okay?
we're
10
talking
a.m.
about geology?
No.
No? Okay. That was an attempt to be funny based on the fact that you said it's how to rock 2022. Anyway,
so thank you for joining us. What topics do we have today, Mikey?
Samsung is coming to Taylor, Texas. We're going to talk about that and how
Who
that
knows where Taylor,
affects
Texas
real
is?
estate. Yeah, so we're going to discuss that because that's kind of a big deal.
Okay. Woo.
And we're going to go into what that means for you within real estate and where you'll be getting questions as it relates to that and how to kind of stay ahead of it.
Knowledge is key.
It is.
Power. Knowledge is power.
Okay, and
Next.
there's a new flood addendum for rentals.
Mm-hmm. Beware. We don't do a lot of rentals, but we need to know about it.
And I'd love to do even less in the coming year. So that's one of my goals for 2022 on how to rock it is do way less leases, and then you'll do more purchases. Spending your time there is probably not
This
the best
is where
use
Mike
of your
and
time.
I have a little difference of opinion, which is
Yep.
fine.
Every year that we decrease our rentals, we actually increase our purchases. It's really weird when you spend time on things that don't make you money, then you don't make money.
Okay.
Odd.
Got
All
it.
right. And Toyota 2030. What's going on there?
2030.
Yeah, so they're talking about what their 2030 plan is,
Woo.
but it is extremely relevant and it ties into topic number 1, and I think we'll be able to tie this all together for us.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, I'm ready. Samsung is coming to Taylor, Texas. So as a real estate professional, we want to know what this means to us. We have a link in an article that we're going to show off here in just a second.
Raise
so
your
we'll get
hand
that all
if you
pulled up.
know where Taylor, Texas is.
Yep. So let's go to the Samsung article, please, if you would, Omkar. And then we'll have that ready. So Samsung is putting in a $17 billion chip plant. Samsung, yeah, there we go, is putting in a $17 billion chip plant in Taylor, Texas. Taylor, Texas is?
We have driven through Taylor, Texas a few times. I know they have barbecue there, and it's between Texas A&M and Austin. I
30
do know
minutes outside of Austin, or 30 miles outside of Austin.
Okay, so it's closer to Austin then.
Yeah, which is incredible. Mm-hmm. But this is a huge investment, and they're putting chips so they can make those. And it's been one of those things here, right? That we needed those for cars, we need them for cell phones, we need them for a ton of different reasons on what we need here. And it's a huge investment.
Is that the rendering of the
and
plant?
decent jobs that they'll
Goodness.
probably end up needing. Yep. So
Massive.
yeah. So it's definitely a big place and a huge investment that's going into the state of Texas. So it should help the state, and it should also help us with chips and spur our economy more and give us some of those things. But from a real estate perspective, if we go back and
yeah.
focus on that right here, we just wanted to bring up the topic and give you the link so you can reference it. But as we go back and we talk now, what we're going to see is why is this important to us here? Okay. So in Dallas, it's always better to have the state of Texas stronger in general.
Absolutely.
That always helps. Okay. So no matter what happens across the state, like it does help our local market.
Sure.
But where you're going to be most concerned, and when people start saying this, is I think we're going to have another strain on our power grid sometime relatively soon.
Yep.
And when we start to see stuff like this going on, and it's going to take way more power, and we have big things going on like this, right? What does that do ultimately to our power grid in the state of Texas? Because we're on our own,
Yep.
right? Like it was a great thing until all of a sudden it's not. So there's going to be questions around power and new things coming in like
Gosh,
this.
you guys. So we had a problem with this early in the year.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know if you guys recall, but over the summer, they threw out there that we need to be conserving energy. Like we've got a strain on the grid, and
Yeah, it was
we need
like
to be
50
conserving
degrees.
yeah. So it was really, I don't know if you guys heard it, but it struck me as what? A little odd. Made me a little nervous. So
So bringing this back to real estate.
We need generators for Christmas.
Yes, that's exactly where we're going with this. So what does that do to you, right? And does it give a greater emphasis on things like solar? Does it give a greater impact to things that are places that are on the hospital grid, right? If you have a property there, are there certain things that start to become more important? We have another topic that we're talking about next, which is about flood. And if your property's in flood and you're going to be leasing it, what goes on there? But is this maybe another overlay that goes into real estate, that it's on a certain grid or in a certain thing, or it has a backup generator, and does that make the property more valuable?
Yeah.
Do people think about this? Raise your hand with how many people are currently thinking about, like, we might have a power outage and it could be a problem.
I have been.
And how do you prepare for it? And have you done something different than you did last
Well, what
year
have we
already?
done to correct, or, what have we done since that catastrophe earlier in the year to really...
Yeah, so people
help
seem to
us?
have fixed their problems that they had from the leaks, but did they remedy the actual cause of the problem? Or did you just repair what was broke because of? And that's a very big difference, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know how many people bought whole home generators or did something, right, to make a difference. But I'm super thankful that Texas continues to grow in business.
Yeah.
But there's something else that we need to think about here as far as
For
that
sure.
goes.
So I had a client earlier, a couple of months ago, and every home she wanted a fireplace, and she said she wanted a wood burning fireplace because she had a major problem in her home. She lived in Austin, that she relied on her fireplace for her heat. So gosh, that's something to think about too. Maybe people can't get a generator for whatever reason, but they should be prepared with wood and the wood burning fireplace, and make sure that it's cleaned out and ready to go. So,
Yeah, that's a great point.
yeah.
So there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, topic covered. New flood addendum is here for rental properties.
Yeah,
Shauna, can you
sir.
please explain this to us?
Yes. So the recent legislative session, they passed a law that now requires landlords to provide this addendum to tenants.
Okay.
And think of it kind of like the lead-based paint, except this is required across the board. There's no reason that it wouldn't be provided. So whether they're in a floodplain or not, a landlord is required to provide this addendum to any potential tenant prior to executing the lease. So if they have no knowledge, it's fine. They can just state that they have no knowledge, right? It's very similar to the seller's disclosure, that now sellers have to fill out that flood information, whether they have knowledge or not. This is the same thing. So if they've had damage, then they also need to let them know, because you think about it, the tenants have to have renter's insurance. And I don't know if there's some caveat in there that it wouldn't be covered. Something happened, right? I'm sure. But if their belongings would be covered or not if they didn't have that,
Yeah, the knowledge.
flood coverage.
All right, so we're going to chat this link in so everyone can take a closer look at this document.
So it will
they have
be
it.
in the templates for the leases, whether it's a lease listing or a tenant, just to remind you guys that they need to receive it before executing a contract. And don't just think that, well, if the landlord doesn't supply it, it's not my fault. You need to be proactive and make sure that they have this prior to, if you're representing a potential tenant, that they have this prior to executing a lease.
Okay. And is this going to be in the templates now?
Yeah,
From
it'll be
now
in the
on,
templates.
it'll automatically be added to any time you do a lease?
Yes.
Perfect. Glad
So
to hear
it's
that.
mandatory as of January 2022, but it's available now. It's just around the corner.
And anyone has any questions on it, Stacy's going to be an amazing resource.
She
And
knows
these documents are all here. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
She's amazing.
Thank you, Stacy.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Toyota 2030 and what's going on there with their EV cars and what their move is. how does that affect us here in real estate?
Yep.
And what does this mean for us locally? So the world headquarters for Toyota is actually in Plano.
Yes.
Super close to us, right? So we need to be following what they're doing. They're one of the world's leading manufacturers of automobiles, and they have some new targets that they came out with. So, Shana, we're going to split the screen and share
Alrighty.
this information and discuss how it affects us within real estate. Okay? So, Toyota
That
sets
is
a
a lot of
global
cars.
sales target for 3.5 million
Whoa.
electric vehicles by 2030. And I believe that it's approximately 40%, if I'm not mistaken, of all of their total vehicle sales. They want to be EV by that time frame. That's a lot of cars in a short amount of time.
You think
right?
all vehicles will end up?
Well, so
Electric
we'll talk
by-
about all this, very quickly.
Yeah.
So they are investing $70 billion in US dollars, right, into this to make sure that this happens. There's a lot of work that needs to go into it, and that's a big direction. When you start moving a tide and turning a ship of that size, we were just talking about Samsung coming to Dallas or to Austin, and they're investing $17 billion into this huge chip plant. Well, this is Toyota investing $70 billion to retool and move towards that. It's a huge ocean liner as they start to make this turn. And from a real estate perspective, is our power grid ready to handle this? Is this actually a good move? Can we do this? How is this going to work? If all of a sudden all our cars are electric and we're getting our power, our gas in a different way, if we don't go to the pump and fill it up, then what do we do? If people live a little bit further away, is there infrastructure to actually support people being able to take these cars on a longer road trip? Can you go past downtown
Yes.
with this?
Susan and I had this conversation yesterday.
Yes.
Because they have a Tesla.
And
Yeah, they have an app and it shows where the stations are, but they, they drove, I think, to Galveston in their Tesla and they were able to map out. I mean, that was my question always. They were able to map out where the stations were, but there's quite a few now. And it's free.
well, no. So that depends on when you bought into the thing and what chargers you can use. And there's different chargers. So Tesla has their proprietary charger, and so I don't know which one Toyota's on, but there's different chargers that need to go in all over the place. And imagine how many gas stations you have right now where you can fill up. Okay? So think about all the gas stations and all the pumps you know of. Okay. They're like often on two corners
Across
of every
the street
intersection.
from each other a lot of
All right.
times.
And then they each have like 10 pumps, right?
Unless
or more.
it's Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
There's like 50.
All right. And now think to yourself, where is the nearest charging station to me for your particular brand? Imagine that there now needs to be two different types of charging, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy
Yeah.
how far they would have to come before you could drive in and fill up and be
This
good
is
to
a
go?
lot of
It's
of
a big
strain.
deal. A lot of strain, a lot of
strain,
stress.
because it's also going to bring employees and people and
Yeah.
I mean,
As we continue to grow, I think
Which
this is
we
going to
love.
become a real
don't
problem
get me
for us.
wrong, but
There's a lot of big changes going on to our world right now, and some of them have big impacts on real estate, and people are going to do things differently.
sure.
So I see things changing dramatically as far as power grids go and what's going on with the internet. There's a ton. They're all interconnected, guys.
Yeah.
They really are.
Yep.
All right. So now
All
you're
right.
just a little bit more familiar.
Yep.
And our idea is to bring you just a few topics every single day that matter to you in your real estate career, that when somebody says something, you have a great way to combat whatever that is and have a good discussion. Because if you're included and informed on current events that do have to do with real estate, then you can have great conversations. If you don't know about it, then you totally miss that opportunity when these things come
I
up.
agree, and it's all about the connection and with your potential, buyer or seller there. You have to have this information. It may not directly intersect with real estate at the time, but this particular topic does. And as long as you can discuss that and just have a conversation and use it to connect with someone, you know?
Yeah,
It's
we're
all
always
about
trying
them.
to give you ancillary things
Yes.
that pull people in to talk about real estate.
Yeah.
Super hard to say, do you want to buy or sell a home today? But easier to say, hey, did you hear
you
what
have a
Toyota?
Tesla.
Yep. Or
You
did
know?
you have a Toyota? Did you know what's happening? Did you know that Honda is making a commitment to be completely off of gas combustion engines? I think it's by 2050. So they plan on making 0 cars with gasoline after
By 2050?
by 2050. That's not that long, really, to be 100% gone.
How old will you guys be in 2050? Just think about that for a minute.
Yeah, and think how many people will be out there and what changes need to go in to make this all happen. Let's get out of here, Shana.
Okay.
All right, well, we're back. That's a wrap for us today. I'm out of here in my UPS get up. I heard the other day that,
Oh.
whenever I wear this, people always talk to me and say they look like the UPS driver. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I think you look nice.
Yeah,
I like it.
Good. Oh, so you have so people apparently think like the UPS guy is like a
They're
thing.
hot or something.
Something like that, but I've never once heard somebody say like the FedEx guy or the
Or
mail
our mail
carrier-
lady.
the mail person is the USPS
Yeah, I
mail
don't know.
person or the Amazon guy. They talk about the UPS guy.
They do.
So that was apparently great marketing on their part in how they put their
Is that
uniform
really
together.
why you...
No, it's just no, not at all. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. We did cover 3 topics: Samsung and Toyota, and how those are related to real estate and what's going on there, and then the new flood addendum.
Yep.
We do have the weekly workshops today at what time?
10 a.m. Ready to rock 2022.
All right.
Plus, Katie's got some information for us, so
Okay.
we'll see you guys at 10.
And remember, we did have some takeaways that you were working on from our in-person on exactly what you wanted to cover and who you wanted and how many and what was going on and what your budget was. So we can have a great discussion around
Yep.
that as well. So we'll be sharing the feedback that Katie got, and we'll be telling you what you could kind of do, but you need to have a budget, and if you're in, if you're out, and what you want to do, and
Yeah.
what your objective is and who you want to
And thank
target.
you, Katie, for
Yeah, it's amazing.
researching and getting that information.
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. See you guys at 10.
Okay, let me turn on the so we can hear him.
First one, Samsung coming to Taylor, Texas.
Oh, all right. Well, here's my
I'm gonna look at
Samsung.
that picture.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, at first I thought it was like a proposal.
Are you engaged? You getting engaged?
I just saw his hands and I saw the back
Oh, he's got a ring in his hand.
back of the girl and all these flat, like beautiful sunset, and I
No,
was like,
he's just
what?
he's thinking in the background. He's pondering life, looking into the distance, looking all.
I like
all
this
buff.
car.
Yeah,
Mike
no.
and I are doing branding photography in a couple of weeks, and we're trying to get some ideas. And I like this one.
Okay.
Oh,
I like this one.
Yep.
Okay.
We'll talk about the girl later, Omkar.
sure.
Oh, so that's a thing. He didn't say no. There's no girl.
Oh.
That's interesting. See how I slid that in like an experienced parent?
We're like your American parents. So
Very, very interesting. Huh. Okay. Let's see. Toyota car.
And Toyota 2030.
I'm
Uh-huh.
gonna do that. 20 pure clean.
Ready?
20. Wait, what is it? 20. Which one are we doing? Toyota.
Yeah.
2030.
Can't see it.
Now.
That didn't work out as well.
So now you can do it then reverse with a dark background and then you'll be able to see it.
Yeah.
But it's just for the future. All right. Thank you, Omkar. I'm going to turn off this.
It's a great, great day. It's a good day. Get up. Na 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 na. Can't you see the sunshine? Na 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 na. woke up and I rolled out of bed. Got dressed and I left at 10. Check my nails, looking good. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Oh yeah! I know this'll be the day